All right. Hello again, everybody. Welcome to another exciting episode of the Kingdom of the Kael Isles. Hopefully, without me forgetting to turn on one of my microphones like I've done for the past 2 weeks. Because I'm
What?
awesome. No, this
Oh,
week
yeah.
everything is working the way it's supposed to, so hooray. This is my custom D&D campaign where the lovely people that you can see below me have been kind enough to let me control the fate of their player characters in this crazy world that I devised. To kind of bring everyone up to speed, currently they are in a sunken underwater dwarven city, trying to basically turn it back on so that they can get an item that Fade, their cleric, hopes will be able to forge him a weapon blessed by his deity. As they've been wandering around, they've been finding cool stuff. The most recent cool stuff that they found is Kata, the resident druid, has a new friend in the form of a shield guardian. So we will see how things go. Last week, right before we ended, they had a conversation with this strange humanoid creature with a large crystal in its chest that they had a conversation with, almost came to blows over, but after one of them finally decided, maybe if we say, true things instead of lying through our teeth, we might respond better. And, yeah, they were able to activate the last of these kind
Strange
of
how the
arcane...
dumbest member of the party realized that.
They were able to activate the final one of these arcane generators that they've been turning on and have been watching the city kind of come to life. So we ended directly after that. So you guys, again, are in that big room. You have the very large shield guardian hovering around Kata. And you have a pile of metal and crystal kind of lying on the floor in front of you.
Is there, another exit besides the entrance we came from?
Not that you can see. This building looks
Big
almost
enough
identical.
for the Shield Guardian, should we decide to take it with us without punching down the whole tower?
The building itself is almost identical to the other buildings that you've been to, where it's basically just a very large box with chandeliers and then a stairway that goes up.
Yeah, boy.
Let's check the walls. It got in here somewhere. Maybe they built it in here, maybe they didn't. So let's, in this big room with the generator, let's check out these walls in the basement.
Okay.
All right. Anyone that wants to look over walls. The room itself is 50 feet by 100 feet, so there's a lot of walls to check. Go ahead and roll investigation checks, anyone that wants to.
Sure, why not? By the way, got a
6.
message from Elaine. Her internet is out.
I knew it.
19 to investigate walls.
All right.
14 for investigation.
All right, and then what'd you get, Kata?
6.
So Kata just kind of starts pawing at the wall and kind of looking around, really not finding anything. Fade and Avok, you guys both kind of look at each other and very quickly kind of formulate a plan to kind of grid out the wall and search it as quick as you can. After, again, because it's so large, it does take you guys the better part of an hour to fully search through everything. But after about an hour, Fade, as you're kind of wandering around, you do find, very innocuously, you find a set of 2 gems in the wall, kind of similar to the door controls that you've been seeing, but only 2 gems instead of 3.
What color are the gems?
there is a green gem, and there is an orange gem.
I pull out my mace and press the green button.
Okay. As you do that, the rest of you guys hear a very large kind of scraping sound as Fade, the wall next to the gem, the whole wall, it almost seems, just starts kind of slowly sinking into the ground. And you can see, as you start looking around, you can see basically the ceiling in that area is starting to sink to the ground as well. You can actually see like an entire portion of the ceiling is just dropping slowly.
Okay, cool.
It's not like dropping on us, or is it?
Well, technically it's dropping on Fade right now,
Oh God!
but it's
Fade,
moving very slowly. Like Fade would have to kind of try to get crushed by it.
Getting out of places with a bonus action is kind of my thing.
Yeah. So, yeah, you see like the roof and everything kind of slowly descending. Eventually, Fade steps back about 20 feet because it's a large portion of the ceiling. And you can see a platform that's raised about 1.5 inches, 2 inches off the floor when it eventually stops. The weird thing about it is, despite the fact that part of the ceiling just descended in front of you, there's no hole in the ceiling.
Do what now?
There's no hole in the ceiling. There's a new platform there, but there's no hole or anything in the ceiling.
I don't like this game. Put them on the platform. Let's raise them up. See what happens.
Okay, yeah, it's been like an hour. Is that enough time to like attune to the amulet?
Mm-hmm, definitely.
Okay, so I know what it can do.
Yepers.
Okay, I mentally command it to move onto the platform.
All right. So as you do that, it's almost effortless for you. It's very surprising to you how easy it is for you to just kind of know what this creature is not really thinking, but planning on doing. And it kind of looks at you, it nods its head, and you see this. Fade, make a dexterity saving throw for me.
Yeah, that's a thing. I'm really good at that. So I have a total of 5.
Oh, God.
Fade, as you're standing there, the shield guardian doesn't really consider you something that needs to be avoided. And so as he's going, he accidentally kind of kicks you as he's just going. You take this one. 5 points of bludgeoning damage
Great.
as the creature gets there and just kind of stops on the platform.
Fade likes weapons.
Sorry, Fade.
What would you like to
Felt
do?
great. I'm gonna press the button once he gets on there and see where he goes.
Which button are you going to press? The green one or the orange one?
Orange.
Does the Guardian fill up the entire space, or is there enough room for the rest of us?
Oh, I'm not going with.
You guys could fit on the platform as well if you wanted. The Guardian is like tall, but it's humanoid, so there's a fair amount of empty space that you guys could try and fill
Okay.
in if you wanted. So as you press,
so what was your?
Oh, go ahead, Kata.
Alright, so what was your plan?
Put
And
him
you
on
were.
top, press the button, see if he ends up outside.
Okay.
So as you press the orange button, the platform itself does not move.
Press the green button.
Before you can do that, excuse me, I have got just the worst chest something today. Before you can do that, you notice that the ceiling in that portion starts to kind of open and change, and then you notice that the platform in front of it, you see this very large hole start to appear in the wall that basically turns into stairs very similar to the ones that you guys normally walk down and up to get in there, except that they're probably about 4 times as large. So you see this kind of landing type thing that only takes one like circle to get all the way to the top, about the size that a shield guardian would need to walk up. You guys would have a hard time walking up them, though.
Let's see.
I go out the way we came in.
Okay.
Alright. And I command it to climb the steps
Okay.
up.
Avok?
Break some
Avok's
shit.
gonna have a Avok's gonna have a little fun. He's gonna take the big steps because that's some
Okay.
exercise to enjoy.
Make me an athletics check.
Okay.
As the rest of you guys just start going up the regular stairs, you just see Avok go, and
I hope it's a 1.
It's not. It's the opposite.
Actually, Kata thinks about it and then has a realization, and having gotten stronger, she realizes she can fly now. She turns into a giant eagle and flies up.
okay.
Oh, that's right.
So Avok, as you
I
sit there,
rolled
just
an
got a
20.
big old toothy grin. You charge the stairs. As soon as you get close, you do a wall kick up the first one, and you just like powerhouse your way up. Roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Alrighty then.
And Kata sprouts wings and flies out.
Not bad either. 23.
So you make it to the top, and you think that you should be exhausted, like absolutely blown away with just how much work it was getting up these stairs. But you feel really good. You have kind of that after-workout burn to your muscles. You know, you pushed it pretty hard, but, you know, they feel kind of good. Fade eventually gets up the normal way.
I look at Avok and say, I brought you back from the dead. So, cool. Good job. Good job climbing stairs.
I would like perception checks from Buddy.
Yep, and as a giant eagle, I have advantage on perception.
Yepers.
Alright, that's
So do we got Avok?
21.
Okay. Fade
14.
and Kata.
22.
So Fade, as you come up, you notice that the town itself has started to light up. You can see those like street lamp type things have kind of turned on, and you notice the whole place itself feels very comfortable. Like before, it was a little bit on the warm side from the previous area that you kind of activated. Now the whole area that you're in is just very, very temperate. There's a slight breeze, which you find bizarre, being underwater. It's very, very nice. Avok and Kata, you notice all this as well, but you also notice, especially you, Kata, with your kind of eagle eyes, the mountain outside of the city walls is no longer there.
I go back to normal and say, City Wall's not there anymore. Well,
You mean
what?
mountain, right?
Yeah.
Wait. Huh. Okay.
That weird.
Uh, where's Fade? Hey, Fade!
I come up. They point this out. I assume
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's up
we
to
should
them.
head to the original control room at the top of the tower in the middle of the city. I know it's going to take a long time. It was like a 3-hour trek down the friggin' stairs, but I think we'll get a better idea of what we've done thus far. Like I know the goal is to go down, but if, like the Guardian said, if we're like visible from above the water, we need to at least let our ship know that shit's gonna start pretty soon. I think going to the control room and just seeing what if anything's changed since we got there, because we
Okay.
couldn't do anything except kind of look at the stupid displays and stuff.
Okay.
I guess so. I mean, it's one more time and we still have that one other giant well.
Yeah, we.
Still gotta figure that one out.
Mm,
Should we? All right. So before we do that, so I suggest that's our goal, our immediate goal. Do we want to? We're in the rich part. Do we want to do a little? See if we can find any door that's open.
Do we want to ransack?
Yeah, I'm not really into it, but I know Elaine would. I'm
Yeah, you
speaking
can see
for the
Elaine's
party.
eyes just kind of perk up a little bit. Song as well just seems a little bit interested by this idea.
I put it on the
bit.
table. I vote for center of town, but I put that on the table for you guys.
What do you think,
You get
Ava?
the idea that both Song and Elaine will go with whatever the majority rules,
Well,
unless
Given-
Elaine magically shows up.
I guess I'm gonna have to go with Fade on this one because given before we came into this place and what we found, that got really boring really quick. So let's.
okay.
So I say we head back there.
Yeah.
Let's take a meandering route back towards the center of town and see if we can find an open door on the way.
All right.
So, is there a route from the top of the building, well, a safe route, from the top of the building to the ground?
Yeah, I mean the building itself is only about a single story tall, so it's 10 feet. So that's not difficult. The rest of the buildings obviously are much taller, but you guys are all currently kind of on the ground.
Okay.
And you guys know your way back to the
Center.
yeah, there we go. Wow, brain is just not working at all right now.
Oh, Jody.
Thinky hard.
Thinking hard for Jody right now.
So as you guys go, you go past quite a few of the doors. You notice that they all have the exact same thing that you saw on the door before, where they're missing the green crystal, and none of them seem to open, despite putting the one that you found in that other house in the opening.
Okay, then let's get to the top of that tower. Backtrack the way we came.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, getting back to where you guys originally came out of the tower, actually, it doesn't take you that long. When you originally came out of the tower, you came out on the east side of the central tower, and the part of the city that you're in right now is the east part of the city. So it only takes you guys about half an hour, 45 minutes to get back to the tower itself.
Okay.
You notice that the tower itself, as you look in, you can see that kind of black sludge-like material kind of coating the inside of the tower is still there. But underneath it, you can see kind of like little veins of light that every so often will kind of pulsate through the walls.
Hmm.
What? Okay. So when we get to that black shit, do we want to try to just run past for now? Because we can lock the door behind us.
Well, the stuff is inside the tower. If you remember when you guys came down after dealing with the black puddings, there was still that kind of sludge stuff kind of coating the inside of this tower and the stairs and things like that. It's still there.
Gotcha.
Is what
Okay.
you found.
Yeah, regardless, Avok's got his hammer out. Well, his light hammer.
Yeah.
Let's just walk by quietly. Okay. Let's try to stealth by these things because I'm really good at that.
So what do you guys want to do? It's up to you.
I try to quietly walk by.
Okay.
I tiptoe on my giant armor.
With disadvantage, I believe, for you, Fade.
Sure is. I got a 12 and a 14.
That's not horrible. So you guys watch Fade like going rattle, 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 clunk, 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 rattle, 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 clunk, 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 clunk. But kind of a soft, rattly, clunky sound. Avok, Kata?
Okay.
Also,
14.
Okay.
8.
All right. So, Kata, you're slightly stealthier, but you step in a pile of ooze and you kind of let out like a Avok just walks up. You can hear him squish, squirt, squirt, squeeze, squirt, squirt, ski, squirt, squirt, ski, squirt. And as you guys start ascending the tower, you're starting to remember how much fun it was the last time. There are portions of the stairs that are in rough shape, and this kind of sludge is everywhere on the inside of this tower. As you guys climb up, you come to an area where about half of the stairs have kind of been eaten away, and the other half are kind of covered in this sludge. You can try to just leap across, or you can try to kind of very carefully step on the remaining portions of the stone. The leap itself would probably be about 5 feet, like it's not a massive leap.
Okay.
But the issue being, you know, the sludge and everything there makes keeping your footing very difficult. So what would you like to do?
I'm jumping.
Okay.
I'm leaving.
So that would be athletics checks
Okay.
for anyone jumping. If you want to be more careful, it would be an acrobatics check.
Oh, God.
So, Avok,
I rolled an 8.
23.
So, Avok just kind of looks at the two of you, takes a running leap, and goes about 5 feet further than he needed to. Lands, you see him slip just a little bit, but he holds himself and kind of turns around. Fade and Kata actually go simultaneously, and as they make their jump, Kata lands first, and as she hits the ground, her feet slip out from underneath her, and she kind of slides off where the railing would have been, and kind of catches herself hanging above the precipice. Fade doesn't make it that far. He makes the jump, misses it, and is now hanging off of the stairs.
Alright, I'm getting both of them up.
Both simultaneously or one at a time?
I'm strong enough to pull them both up.
All right, make me an athletics check.
Alrighty. Let's see. Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Just grab her if you can.
Wow.
Yes.
This just
I
got
need
bad.
I need dexterity saving throws from everybody.
I love it. That's fantastic.
That is impressive.
Boo.
Oh no!
What?
I net 20 the dex save at least.
That's good.
17.
10.
All right, so 17 from Abok. What was your total, Fade?
23.
23. Wow. So Abok, you're fine. Just a little bit hurt in your pride. Fade,
You think?
after you see him sit there, grab your shirt, and just lose grip and start to fall backwards, your immediate response is to kind of just reach up and grab onto his ankle. The force of him falling backwards pulls you up. Kata, you just barely kind of grab onto it again. You actually slide a little bit further down the stairs, and now are holding on by just one hand that's slowly starting to lose its grip due to this slide.
Ben, help!
I look down. Can't you fly now?
Mm.
Then I go to help her out.
I believe she may be out of transformations because you guys haven't taken a long rest.
I
think she only used one.
Okay.
One during the
I
fight.
could. Yeah, I did.
Kitty paws on
Which-
the wall. I try to help her out.
Okay. Athletics check.
15 to help.
You're able to kind of grab her by the wrist. She is remarkably light just because of kind of the small frame of her body, and she's kind of a small-ish human. So you pick her up, and you guys get up. Still a little bit shaken by it, but you've gotten over that hurdle of this portion of the journey. See, it's not
This room, I
even
swear.
like evil creatures that kill you guys.
It's this room.
It's stairs.
Let's keep
Yeah,
going.
Marcus.
Alright.
Yeah, I'm just getting up and just.
First
walking off.
doors, now stairs.
So, having made this trek before, you guys kind of know where the unsafe portions are. You're able to make it up the remainder of the stairs in only about 45 minutes, because again, you've done this before, and you don't have to be quite as careful going up as you did going down. And you come to the room with the large stone circle in it, with stairs that lead up to the control room and other things. What would you like to do?
This is the room that had the portal that we arrived in, correct? Or this is the room that received us. Is that structure still there?
Yeah, the ring is still in the wall.
I would like to go check it out. Check out the control pedestal.
This one didn't have a control pedestal in the room. The control pedestal was in the place that you guys kind of departed from on that island.
Okay.
This one had something similar to control pedestal, but it was up in the control room.
Is there anything different from the last time? Specifically, this portal thing. I've been taking notes in my journal.
The portal itself doesn't seem any different. However, go ahead and roll me. Let's do perception.
I
Can I roll perception too? Or am I not in the room?
Yeah, you're all there. Go ahead, Kata.
Sweet. Bless you.
Thank you. Wait, you guys heard that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're very loud.
I
I rolled
muted
an
my
18.
thing before.
Okay, Kata, what'd you get?
18.
So you guys can both kind of tell the room itself. The first time you guys were here, it was almost completely dark. There was we may have another person joining us.
Hey!
Hello.
Hi.
Yes.
Oh, internet.
I know, I've been there.
Let me real quick kind of rearrange the names here.
Yeah, you were replaced by the owlbear.
Yay.
Owlbear of adorableness.
All right.
So I managed to steer us away from the rich part of town, and now we're back in the control room.
No.
Yes, it happened.
No.
You were
Okay.
you were very wide-eyed when you were there, kind of pleading with them. No, can we please go through more? But they decided to go somewhere else.
Darn it.
You and Song were both a little bit upset.
Darn.
That's not what you told us earlier.
So Kata and Fade, you guys noticed that where before there was kind of this dim light coming from the sconces in the wall, you notice that the whole room itself is not only illuminated from these sconces, but there are portions and kind of veins in the walls of this building that are glowing with an arcane energy to the point where now you guys are in bright light. It's very easy to look around. You're starting to notice that what once looked like just stone, now you can see is almost like an opaque crystalline structure. Looks very similar to stone in like dim light, but none of you guys can see there's like a sheen to the wall, almost like an obsidian, but not black. It's more of like a blue color here. But very, very
I write
interesting.
that down. Let's head upstairs to the main, whatever, observation room or whatever it was.
I guess so.
So as you guys step in, you notice again, instead of just a few of the kind of desks or tables in here, kind of lightly glowing, the entire room is kind of aglow with all of these different lights and colors. You can see gems in a lot of the surfaces that are now kind of alight. You can see kind of the center place that had the map on it is now fully lit up. You can see the map itself is much more detailed than it was before.
Let's look. I'm trying to identify like an overall, like looking down at the city. Is there any display where I can
That
see
would
like
be
the
the
whole
center
city?
table.
Okay,
Would be
so
the
I
best
go over
place to do
there.
that.
All right, I'm gonna go over there and kind of check it out.
So again, you can see on the surface itself, there's kind of this clear, almost glass-like surface, and just underneath it, there is an image of the city itself, a perfectly aerial view of it. And before, you saw those three kind of green dots in the three areas where the arcane generators were. You can now see that those buildings are blue, and you can see little lines going out from them to various parts of the city, a few of them going to the tower itself. You also, go ahead and roll me a perception check, Fade.
I roll a total of 13.
Okay. As you're looking, you notice that there is kind of a flashing, there's a red gem, or rather it's a clear gem that's flashing red on the left side of the table.
What quadrant is that?
What quadrant? Oh.
Is that like the is that one of the
It's
areas
not,
that we've been in?
it's actually not on the map. It's on the outer kind of border of the table. Does not have the kind of image on it. It's just a gem set in the left side of the border.
So instead of just pushing the blinking red button, let's see if we can determine what that might do. I mean, obviously this is all completely foreign to me, but can I roll like Arcana to try to, or an insight or something?
You can't.
Okay.
You got no idea. Elaine might be able to try to translate some of the dwarven runes on the table itself, if he wants to.
I'm still mourning the loss of the.
He's still upset.
I put a gem on the table.
You want me to translate the things?
Yes, please.
Okay, fine.
We found One-Eye Willie's rich stuff.
Would I roll history?
History. Yep.
No.
You've got no idea. There's on this table itself. There is almost no writing, simply because the main area of the table is taken up almost completely with this image of the city. The few scant runes that you can see, for the most part, are Elaine, you have started to understand that ancient Dwarven is kind of a hybrid language where part of it is pictograph based, meaning runes mean words, and part of it is phonetic alphabet based, meaning runes mean sounds. The most you can tell from your brief overview is the particular runes that you're looking at here are pictograph based. So each rune means a word. You have no idea what the words are, though.
I got nothing, man.
Thank you for checking. I would now like to... We know where that big door with the four things was, which we are assuming is the entrance to the shrine. Can I follow these blue lines and see if from each generator there's a line to that door?
Yeah, go ahead and roll perception. You're using your eyes. Damn.
24 to perceive.
You are getting very good at kind of reading this map without too much difficulty, and you can see there is at least one line from each of the generators going directly to the door. The other thing you notice is that, based just on symmetry, it looks like there's at least one line missing. You don't see like a darkened line or anything, but one side has two coming in, the other side only has one, so it's not as symmetrical as you think it should be.
Okay. So, after looking at this table, that could be destroy the city, or that could be incoming distress call. I don't know. So, I'm just saying this all out loud. Looking around the rest of the room, is there... Yeah, stop it. Stop it. I hate it.
What?
Looking around the rest of the room, is there anything that would remind me or be similar to that portal control pedestal that I saw before, like a pattern?
Oh yeah, there's kind of like a window that looks down into the room below, and right in front of it is what looks very similar to the pedestal that you saw in the place that on that island that originally sent you here. It has very similar symbols on it. It's glowing kind of similar to when you held your holy symbol over the old one, but instead of like specific symbols glowing, everything is glowing.
Okay. All right, Elaine. Would you like to go back to the rich part of town?
Always.
The reason I present this is perhaps there is a pleasure craft of some sort that maybe we could use to traverse the caved-in portion to get to the generator room. Because I haven't seen a boat or anything since we've been down here.
No.
This was a floating city, so stuff had to get here somehow.
It's very possible. You haven't, from what you've seen thus far, you haven't seen a dock. You haven't seen anywhere where you could unload onto a ship. You're not sure if it's just that you haven't run across it because you guys haven't been scouring the city. You guys have been going to very specific places. So it's theoretically possible you missed it, or, it could be that the places you've been don't have docks.
If we take short rest, maybe I could maybe I could try to scout and see what I find.
I think that's probably a really great idea.
Hmm.
So to the left of this control room, there's a meeting room, and then there's a balcony that was overlooking the city. Let's go check that out and see if that's like open air still. If it is, then we can just chill up here while you scout.
So as you guys go ahead.
I can take another person with me when Big Eagle. Maybe Faye want to go with me.
More than anything, I'd love to go for a fly.
Mm.
So you guys step out on the balcony, and as before, it is open air. You can see the city itself looks more alive than it did before. Before it was kind of decrepit and it just looked dead. And now there are portions that are glowing with lights, and the whole thing just seems much more alive, except for the northern quadrant, which still seems as dead as it was before.
So before we go,
Blink,
or have we already left?
blink,
Yeah. Before we go, I want to talk to Avok and Elaine. Kata.
blink, blink.
Oh my God, I'm not doing it. It's gonna blow us up, or it's gonna lift the city up, and then the Eladrin kill us all. I'm not doing it. I look at them. Let's not push this button yet. But looking at the map, I point out that void where I think an extra power line would go to the north quadrant. I think we still need to get this other power online. We're going to scout around for a short time, hang out. We'll be back very soon. And Kata, you can fly pretty fast, I would assume.
Yeah, giant eagles have a fly speed of 80.
Nice. So we can book it around. Let's perimeter sweep. Let's check the outside first, if you're cool with that.
Alright. So are we taking a short rest or a long rest?
I think we only need a short. Nobody's
Yeah,
really
we only need a short rest. We're
Okay.
not damaged.
Let's do that.
Well,
guys-
not damaged much.
Kind of chill for about an hour, relaxing, binding up any wounds you might have.
Hey Elaine, see if you can find anything in the library. It's that way, remember? See if you can determine any runes now that you've had some more experience.
Alright, yeah. I'll go into the library, see if I can find anything of usefulness that I can
Okay.
read.
So Elaine heads off to the library. Kata, I'm assuming, transforms into a giant eagle.
Mm-hmm.
Unless Avok wants to go with her. I mean, I could keep messing around in here.
Hey, you have better perception.
Well, you also have better perception
Yeah,
than me.
me too.
The big difference between Avok and Fade is going to require a little bit more effort because he's wearing heavy armor,
Oh.
whereas Avok, because he doesn't wear any armor, is slightly lighter.
I'm
Okay.
all muscle, baby.
You do what you can here. Evok?
Yeah, believe me, I'd rather be going.
Okay, I transform into the giant eagle.
Okay.
Not very about to get on.
I'm gonna enjoy the hell out of this. Alright, let's go, kid.
So without too much difficulty, you're able to climb onto Kata's very large winged form. And then you feel this very strange sensation as your stomach feels like it's flipping as she dives off of the balcony. And for about 10 seconds, you're in complete free fall. Feeling very, very awkward and weird. And then she extends her wings and starts kind of flying around the city. And you've got this amazing kind of aerial view of the city. Where would you guys like to go?
How about the flight area of the city, possibly?
Okay. So as you guys kind of fly over the northern quadrant
See
of
how
the
bad
city,
it's getting.
you can see that the first time that you guys looked over here, it was basically just the area immediately around the arcane generator that was flooded, and the shield itself had kind of divoted in. Since you guys have been here for a couple of days, you've noticed that that kind of divoted in area has spread to now about 150 feet to 200 feet around the generator and stuff like that. But you also notice that the shield itself that's keeping all of the water at bay seems more stable than it was when you first got here. So, pluses and minuses. But yeah, you get the idea that in order to get there, you've got probably close to, at minimum, 200 feet of water that you would have to get through somehow.
Okay. Anyone else that you think might be a good idea to check up in the sky, Rook? And not that I can say this out loud.
Right, this is pretty much. We
You
both.
hear,
Yeah, I know. That's not gonna be easy to deal with. Hopefully we can figure something out. Why don't we check around the whole city? Let's just check the areas that we've been through. Maybe we missed something. I don't know. Just
Okay.
make it whole speed.
So, how long does this form last, by the way, Katsu?
I had half my level, I think, so it should be
About
around
4
4 hours. Yeah.
So it takes you the majority of that 4 hours to do a complete sweep of the city, because it's a very, very large city, and so you go to the western area, which is the first area you guys went to. Again, nothing about it is remarkably different from you there. You can see the light fixture that you threw Avok on to get rid of all of those lovely rugs that he became very acquainted with.
Yeah, Avok has a little pain in his shoulder. Seeing that?
But overall, not a whole lot has changed since you were there. As you continue flying towards the southern quadrant of the city, you start noticing updrafts that you can use to make it a little bit easier for you to kind of fly in this area, because there are a couple areas of just intense heat, including that molten fountain in the middle. There is just this very large column of hot air escaping from that. Avok and Katsa, you both feel significantly hotter when you fly over this portion of the city. But again, not a whole lot has changed since you were there last. And finally, you make it to the rich portion of the city in the eastern section, or eastern quadrant. And again, the buildings themselves have started to light up and things like that. They're gleaming even more than they were before, of gold and platinum and silver. But not a whole lot has changed. You can see the bloody marks from where you attempted to climb up the wall, Kata, are still there.
Nothing. Just pretty much reiterating what we've already seen.
Yeah, not a whole lot has changed other than there's power. As you guys fly over the temple that you've now learned that it's called, you can see that 3 of the very large gems have gone from this kind of dark color to glowing with this very kind of bright white light. But there's still one gem that is dark.
Okay.
At that time, Kata, you start to feel yourself having difficulty holding the form, and so you use the last of your ability to get back to the balcony, and right as you get there, you fall out of the form. Both of you guys
Probably
make
being
dexterity saving throws
squished
for me.
Oh god.
11.
Okay.
7.
So, as you land, Avok, you notice that the form that you're kind of holding on to kind of disappears and turns into Kata's significantly smaller form right as you guys get over the balcony, and you both kind of plummet down about like 5 feet
Okay.
as you get there. You land on your feet and you're completely fine. Kata is face first on the ground.
Yeah, I should practice that a bit more.
So while that was happening, Elaine, we will start with you. You have 4 hours. You are currently in the library. What would you like to do?
Let's see. I guess I'm just trying to figure out as much as I can since I've spent a little more time with some ancient dwarven.
Okay.
I guess I'd go ask Fade what specifically I need to be looking for.
Okay. So you head back out to the central control room where Fade is playing around with things.
Hey, Fade.
Yes.
God. Is there anything specifically you want me to be looking for?
What does this red button mean? Also, how do we activate the teleportation circles? So look for teleportation symbols or magic and or control room blueprints.
All right. So yeah, I'll go in there and look for specifically teleportation related thing, and anything I could find at the control room.
Go ahead and roll me an investigation check.
Can I give her my sketches that I've been taking of those pedestals to see if it'll help her find something similar?
Sure. You're not sure.
I do that.
You're not sure how much help it's going to be for Elaine, but
Oh yeah, no worries. My investigation is fantastic.
so what'd you get?
Hold on. I had to grab my character. I got a 12.
That's not horrible. It takes a better part of 3 hours of you searching through the remnants of books. Most of the books are dust or so faded that you really can't get anything of use out of them. And so again and again, you'll pick up a book and it'll crumble in your hands, or you'll pick up one and it will, you'll open it up and just see faded pages, and you'll spend, 20 or 30 minutes trying to look for a couple of runes just to get nothing out of it. And like I said, after about 3.5 hours, you eventually come to what looks like a scroll tube, but much larger. Probably measuring about, I have to do math now, about 3 feet long, probably about 6 inches in diameter, capped on both ends with what looks like treated leather.
Ooh. Okay, I'm gonna go.
What would you like to do?
Yeah, I'm gonna take that to Fade.
Okay.
See what I can figure out with them.
So while that's going on, Fade, you have about 3.5 hours to kill.
Yeah, I'm just going to keep looking at all these displays, see if I can find any buttons besides the blinking red one that's making me want to press it the whole time.
Blink.
Like,
Blink.
as I experiment with these control panels, like if I press something, does something change in the big menu? I want to see if any controls in here affect the city. That's what I'm looking for.
Okay. So the layout of the room that you're in right now, you have the large central table in the middle that has the image of the city in it from an aerial view. And then you have the window in the front of the room that looks into the room with the circle of stone. So that has those symbols that you recognize from the pedestal, and that's kind of that whole table there is just kind of made up of that specific thing. Then you have a table on the left and a table on the right that you really haven't looked at too closely because the last time you were here, they were just regular tables.
Go left.
Okay, so you go to the one on the left, and as you're looking at it, you do notice these kind of clear gems set in each side, and you can see in front of you what looks like dwarven runes in the middle of the table that are kind of just glowing.
Do any of them look like swords or axes or maces?
No.
Okay, I checked the other table on the right.
Okay. As you go to the other table on the right, you see kind of a different looking system. Again, laid out very similarly to the other one, where on the left and right sides of the table there are these clear gems. The middle is got the same kind of glass surface that the other ones have that you can see an image on. But this one you can specifically see how do I describe this to someone that's never seen this before? You can
Perfectly.
see, yeah. You can see what looks like 4 different symbols, and then what looks like a kind of like a bar above 3 of them that's glowing green and kind of fluctuating. Like the bar itself gets bigger and smaller and bigger and smaller, and the 4th one is just dark.
Okay.
And that's like the lower part of the screen. Then the upper part of the screen is similar to the center table where it's an image of the city, but this one specifically, you would have seen this in the Platinum City. It looks kind of like a map of like a sewer system of or something like that. It's got the same basic shape of the city, but instead of seeing roads and things like that, you can just see these kind of pathways, some of which are lit up, some of which are not.
Okay. Great. That's information that I wanted. So, okay. When Elaine comes into the room, what you got?
A book.
We carefully open it up and mend if it starts to crack or disintegrate.
So again, it's a scroll tube type thing, closer to like a mailing tube. So as you uncap one side, a little bit of dust comes out, and as you kind of pour it out, you can see a piece of preserved leather is very tightly wound around itself and takes up the center of this tube.
Elaine has nice, dexterous hands. I'll let her open it up if he wants to.
I will open it.
So you get it, you roll it out, and it's very, very old, but it seems like the tube itself has preserved it better than the other things in the library. And so it does, with a little bit of careful work, you guys are able to kind of open it up. And what you see is a kind of map that is massive. Go ahead and roll, both of you guys can roll history checks for me.
History. Total of... Okay.
What'd you get, Faye?
19.
Not
19.
bad. Elaine?
18.
Wow, you guys are really good. So as you're looking at this map, the first thing that both of you guys notice is that this doesn't look like any of the islands that you've seen in the Kingdom of the Kael Isles. It doesn't look familiar to you at all. And as you're kind of looking over it, Fade, you notice a small section in the southwestern portion of the map. That as you look closer, you pick out the shape of Kael Isle. And you can see, you start going, oh, that's where we are. And you notice that the entire portion of the Kael Isles, which is the world as you guys know it, is a very small part on this map.
Oh.
You guys can see to the north a very large continent. You can see certain portions of it. You can see some mountains in it. You can see some desert areas. You can see far to the east another continent that has a lot of forest. You can see a little bit of snow as well. And you can see to the south there are 3 very large island continent type things. And then the Kael Isles takes up a kind of small portion of the western part of this map. And then in the far west, you can see an entire area that's looks like entirely mountains. Around the outside of this circular map, Fade and Elaine, you guys both immediately notice there are these symbols that correspond with the symbols that you guys saw on the pedestals. Fade, you recognize them due to the fact that you actually had a chance to look at the sky at night. You recognize them as constellations. And they're in the rough kind of positions that you would see them in the sky during certain portions of the year. The other thing that you guys find slightly bizarre is the outer kind of ring of this very large map is not technically completely connected to the rest of the map. You can rotate it.
Okay. That's weird. I like it. Let's play with it. Can we discern anything else?
Yeah, it's a
By
massive
turning
map
it?
of the world that you assume.
Okay.
When you kind of turn the outer edge, you can see the constellations themselves move and rotate around.
Pretty.
You do see kind of tick marks that don't move with the rest of the... Like, it's just the constellations that move. And then you see these little tick marks with some dwarven runes next to, like, every 10 or 15 marks.
Okay. Elaine, you got anything?
Is there any like dwarven anywhere on it that I could try and
Yeah,
read?
you can see the dwarven runes on the tick marks. If you want to roll a history check, you can see if you can recognize them.
Yeah. 15.
They're dates.
They're dates. Can I like kind of tell what the dates are, or?
Yeah, you recognize them. The timekeeping system has not changed significantly since this language was used. Like, they use the same calendar system. And yeah, the direct center north of the map corresponds with like New Year's, and they count the days of the year. Now, not every single one of them is labeled, so you get the idea that, okay, well, obviously they weren't going to put that much detail. You get the idea, like, you can pick out certain dates and things like that without too much difficulty.
Yeah.
Hey, Elaine.
Yeah.
Should I may have the capability to talk to your dragon buddy. Should I ask him if he has any advice on our current situation?
Maybe. I mean, I haven't heard anything
and
in a while.
With this map, we can at least get our position in the world that is bigger than we thought. So maybe that could help him figure out what's going on while he can't talk to anybody.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. I'm going to prepare a message for sending to our dragon buddy while we wait for the scout team to return.
To remember how sending works. That would be the wrong
To
way.
remember how dragon knighting works.
For you to communicate with your dragon master, he has to contact you.
Yeah.
I'm not as familiar with sending, so hold please.
Would you like me to read it? Because I'm already there.
Oh, I've got it here.
Okay.
So, Kato, why don't you start explaining what you guys saw to us?
Only notable difference is that flooded area is now a lot more flooded.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's about, I'd say, from non-flooded to the generator that's flooded, it's about 200 feet. That's
Okay.
from my guesstimates. Is there any way we can get through that? Kata, Faye, do you guys have any like water controlling spells that could work?
We absolutely do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have. I have
We
one
could-
prepared right now.
Yeah, we could teamwork, get through that without a problem.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Alright.
Fade, what message do you prepare?
In
A maximum
Dundoro.
of 25 words.
Yep, I'm under. In Dundoro, trying to work Soulforge. Any advice on powering up the city? Should we trust the Dark Lady?
Okay. Roll me make me a spell attack roll.
Incoming 10 plus 17 total.
Okay. 10 plus 17. It's 422. Yes! You didn't get that high. Like, there aren't modifiers. Doesn't matter. As you sit there and you start preparing this spell and you send it to attempt to contact this dragon, you feel an immense pain right behind your eyes.
Uh-oh.
And for whatever reason, you know the spell was cast, you know the message was sent, but something didn't work the way it was supposed to.
Okay.
You don't know what, but it's just very, very weird, and it was very painful. You were able to kind of sever the connection before any like physical damage was done from it, but you've got a bit of a headache now.
You okay?
Okay.
You guys kind of watched as Fade sat there clutching his holy symbol, and you guys saw the magic start to work, and then you heard him kind of cry out and kind of collapse down to one knee, and then shake his head and get back up.
Yeah, you okay?
Yep, never better.
Does that usually happen?
Dragon's not talking to us. I don't know what's going on.
Blink,
I think there's some kind of blockage.
blink, 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 blink.
So there's this
blink.
button. I don't know what it does.
You've
I
noticed
study
it's blinking
things.
faster now.
Oh, shit.
Let's just press it.
I don't know what to do.
I would like to find out the results of pressing this button.
Oh
Okay.
no.
So you press the button. You see the image of the city shrink. And you see kind of like very similar to the experience you had when you were having that vision from the Dark Lady, where you kind of shot up into the air and you saw kind of the world below you just shrink down because of how high you got. Same thing happens to the city. And after it gets down to about a quarter of the size that it was before, you can see towards the edge of the table, before it gets to where all the gems are inlaid, some form. It's very large, about the size, almost the size of the city, moving.
Yeah.
We woke something up?
Uh,
Proximity alarm. That's what I think this is.
what have we done?
So in that little zoom out moment,
Mhm.
knowing how big the city is from their scout trip, can we determine how far away this thing is? And or the speed at which it's moving, if it
Roll
is.
me an intelligence check.
Okay. Not so good. 6.
Yeah, you're sitting there, you're trying to kind of do the math and everything, and it's just you're having a hard time comparing everything. You can't really tell.
Oh man.
All right. Well, I think we found out all we can right now. Does the shape look like it's getting closer? Can we determine that?
Kind of. It moves closer. It moves further away. It's swimming in kind of an erratic pattern.
Okay. Then I think we should hustle and get this fourth generator on before we get attacked.
Hmm.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, barrier seems to be getting stronger though.
Yeah, that was notable. So
Yeah, with
I don't think time's an issue now. It's
Yeah.
just gotta get that generator.
All right. So we can lay out the plan that Kat and I had of controlling the water to basically part the water. She can go up and down or sideways. I'll do the other to make a pathway right to the generator from the edge of the incursion.
So, what spell or ability would you guys be using?
I would be using control water.
Okay.
Control water has a range of 300 feet and allows us to do a bunch of different stuff.
You have control water as well?
Yeah, we both do.
Okay. Then, yeah, that makes sense. Cool. You guys are still in the central tower, about 150, 200 feet above ground level. You can climb back down the stairs. Again, that'll probably take you... Going down is more difficult than going up. So it'll take you probably about an hour, hour and a half to go down that way.
I think we just go. I have burned a spell or two, but whatever.
Okay.
Kata, did you get both of your shapeshifts back? with
Yeah,
that service?
I did.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
I
what do you
use
got?
one, I can still use another one, and I can combine a concentration spell with it so we can get to the flood area faster.
Okay.
That was just I really need to stop thinking of everyone else.
So what do you guys want to do?
Let's go. Get that generator. Let's get it on.
So you guys going down the stairs? You having Kata ferry you? What do you guys want to do?
Stairs. Let's save that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Unless you want to. I mean, whatever.
Well, okay. Let's save the shapeshift.
Okay. So,
Stairs good.
just to make things a little bit simpler, everybody roll me 2 dexterity saving throws.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
No, it doesn't. You're wrong.
Oh,
I
nice.
mean, it sounds
21.
fun for me because
Oh, wow, that's awesome.
And 2,
dexterity saving.
21 and 15.
Okay. Kata, you're completely fine. Fade,
Yay.
13 and 11.
you slip one of your times down there, but you're able to kind of catch yourself and you make it all the way down.
Whew.
Elaine,
18 and 13.
you're fine. Avok,
I got really lucky. 22 and 22.
Nice.
damn. You guys make it down without too much difficulty. Fade, when you slip, you do take 5 points of slashing damage as you cut yourself a little bit trying to stop yourself from falling.
Ouch.
I've done more damage to myself than most fucking.
Yes, you have.
So you guys make it to the base. You can see where the shield kind of has encroached in. Will probably take you the better part of about an hour to get there from the base of the tower, just because you're going through a new section of the city and you'll have to figure out your way there. But you guys are able to make it to the shield itself. This is the first time you guys have actually been close to the shield.
Yeah.
Fade, with your kind of experience with arcane energies in general, you can feel a lot of arcane energy coming off of this shield.
Okay.
What you guys like to do?
Let's test going through it instead of trying to like hack our way through or run through. Let's see. Maybe have everybody stand back and I'll test the water by putting like a hammer or something up to it and see what happens.
Okay.
I'll put my cruddy misshapen hammer up to the shield.
Okay. So you sit there, you take this misshapen hammer, and as you touch the shield itself, it feels solid to you as you just kind of touch the hammer to it. Kind of like you're touching a wall.
Okay. Before I do anything else, anyone else have ideas they want to try?
Mm-mm.
Okay, I will take out one of my tacky gems and I will hold it in my hand up to the shield and say, turn into a tunnel.
Shit.
I'm trying to give it purpose because it didn't have purpose.
Damn. So I know how they're supposed to work, and this isn't how they're supposed to work, and you've just done something very weird, and I have to figure out how it's going to work. So give me a second here.
It's gonna work marvelously.
Roll a wisdom saving throw, Fade.
Now, let's just be clear. I did say I was experimenting and everyone should have been backed away.
Yeah.
So I rolled a 17. I think that's right. No, actually, it's a 19.
Yeah. So as you touch the gem to the
The shield in an effort to power it up.
the shield, you feel a jolt of pain go up your arm.
Of course I do. Of course I do.
And you instantly you instantly lose the ability to focus on anything. Like your brain just like hiccups for a little bit, and you sit there and you fight this overwhelming kind of overload of sensory information and kind of shake it off. You're confused for about 5 minutes where things don't really make sense. But you look down at the gem that you're holding, and it's very different. The gem itself has changed shape. Before it was kind of this oblong, kind of rough cut looking thing. It didn't really luster all that well. It just, nothing about it seemed all that great. Now, however, the gem itself is very smooth. You notice that it's changed shape a little bit and changed color as well. It looks almost has kind of the consistency of a large pearl. And you can see it's actually kind of in the shape of a shield almost, you know, where it's flat on the top and it's kind of elongated and curved on the bottom. And feeling it in your hand, it has energy in it. It feels very, very different from what it was before. It obviously has arcane power in it now that it didn't before.
Okay.
What happened?
What? Where am I? Who are you?
You okay?
Oh. Yeah, I look around, there's no tunnel. Look at my hand. Well, that didn't work. Put it in my pocket. Oh, I look at it. That's different. We'll get back to that.
Okay, Fade.
What?
Yeah,
huh?
you guys watch Fade. As he touches it, his arm gets thrown back. You see, he looks like someone just punched him in the face from the physicality. Like he steps back and he wanders around. Like his eyes are completely dilated for a while. He's just kind of looking at things. He drools a little bit. And
I
then
just assume that's
slowly-
how it works.
Yeah, and slowly kind of brings back his faculties.
I'm
Shoot.
certainly not going to try to dispel this, but we need to find a way through here. I guess I'm going to hold my breath and try to walk through it.
You guys have water breathing. You don't need to hold your breath.
Yeah, you did do that. So I'm just going to try to walk through it.
So
Okay.
when you first get up to the shield, you press your hand against it. It feels solid. As you push with a little bit more force, it starts. It's a really weird experience for you because what used to be solid starts to feel kind of mushy, and you start to push through it. And you keep pushing, you get the idea that this whole shield is probably about a foot thick. And as you're sitting there, you're pushing, your hand appears on the other side of the shield, and I'd like you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Wonderful, sure.
I bet she's going to crush my hand.
Oh no.
Oh, rest in peace.
It's all good. It's only an arm. I only need one, right? 18?
All right, not bad. Give me this.
I swear to God, if he hurts himself one more time.
With this fade, we know he's gonna hurt himself.
Oh,
Wow, 3 1s. That's impressive. You take half of this, so 13 points of cold damage and 13 points of force
I'd say-
damage.
Okay.
Or bludgeoning damage, yeah, we can go with that. Both of those halves, so that brings it down to 6 and 6, so a grand total of 12 damage. And as soon as your hand goes through, you feel this excruciating pain, like someone has just stepped on your hand, and at the same time, it freezes like ice, like you've just been hit by a frostbolt or something like that, or like a cone of cold just on your hand. You instinctively rip it back out, which takes a little more effort than you thought it would. But you bring it out, and you can see there are little ice crystals forming on it. You have a little bit of frostbite, very mild frostbite on it.
I'm using a level 2 cure wounds on him.
I'll take it.
Your hand feels significantly better. Go ahead and roll hit points.
Alright.
Before the cold fully goes away, I'm going to walk up to Avok real nonchalant and try to put my cold hand on the back of his neck.
what are you doing?
You get 10 HP back.
Thank you very much. Does that feel cold? I can't tell. It's numb.
His hand is indeed cold.
Yeah, Avok's just taking the cold, okay?
Yeah, he's.
He knows-
it's not
he knows what-
painful. It's just. This
He
is
knows
the
what
most,
Fade's doing.
This
Okay,
is
he
the
knows
most
Fade's
physical
trying to
contact you've ever had with Fade.
fuck. Yeah, Fade's fucking with him in some way. He's just like, what the fuck are you doing?
So, the frostbite itself is instantly just kind of gone away as Kata places her hand on your hand, and you feel kind of the warming feeling of healing energy flowing through your body.
Okay. So I explain what happened and say, Kata, shall we try to make a water tunnel to get there?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to read the spell and see if maybe we can get away with one of us doing it. Because that's pretty...
It's concentration.
Yeah, the basics of it, if I remember correctly, you can control an area of, what is it, 50 by 50?
I cube up to 100 feet on a side.
Okay. So if you wanted to create a pathway all the way there, you guys would both have to do it because both of you would have to do 100 feet. If you wanted to just create an area and walk through, one of you can do it because you can concentrate on it for like, what, an hour? Or is that 10 minutes?
10 minutes.
10 minutes,
Yeah,
okay.
it's up to 10 minutes.
So 10 minutes to travel 200 feet, not an unrealistic thing to expect that you can do.
Let's attempt it with one, and
Okay.
let's say, Kata, you use yours, and I'll prep mine in case something happens.
Okay.
So, Kata, as you start to manipulate it, manipulating the water on the other side of the shield is very weird to you. Despite the fact that this is a new spell that you're not particularly familiar with using, you've used spells to control nature and things like that before, and it's never felt like this. Everything about this seems awkward and weird, but you do create a relatively large bubble that you guys can walk into if you want, directly on the other side of the shield.
Yeah, you cause water in the area and move apart and create a trench. The trench extends across the spell's area, and the separated water forms a wall to either side. The trench remains until the spell ends, or you choose a different effect.
So once that is created, I will say, "Follow me," and push through, and hopefully not die.
Okay.
Yep, and while still concentrating, I will follow the rest of them.
All right. So as you guys all step through there, the first thing that you notice is an immediate change in the temperature. You go from kind of very pleasant surroundings to bitterly cold, painfully cold. Everyone go ahead and roll me Constitution saving throws.
Oh, God.
Sweet.
Oh, wonderful. It was... Oh, no. And good thing you weren't concentrating, so I need to roll a con save.
Avok, what you got?
21.
You're fine. Kata?
16.
You're fine. You're unpleasant, but fine. Elaine?
6.
All right. Fade?
Natural one.
You guys both take 6 cold damage as any exposed skin in this area starts to get little ice crystals forming on it. It's incredibly cold here.
Jesus.
Painfully so. You could even see in the area that you guys have gone, frost has actually formed on the ground itself. And little ice crystals are starting to kind of form up. And even from the top of the bubble that Kata's created, you can see little like icicles starting to form at various intervals.
Let's hurry. This sucks.
Yep.
All right. So, Kata, go ahead and roll me, make a spell attack roll. Just a d20 plus your spell attack modifier.
Okay. 17.
All right. So, this is very, very difficult because maintaining your concentration while this cold is basically biting you is remarkably difficult. But as you go and you move the water around you and move you guys, it only takes you about 5 minutes to reach the door itself to this building. I'd like everyone to make one Constitution saving throw for me.
Oh, God.
Avok, what you got?
15.
You're good. Fade,
12.
you're good. Elaine,
1.
Oh.
you take 2 cold damage. Kata,
A modified 20.
you're completely fine. You're becoming
She's safe,
very
right?
at home in this new environment. So you guys are now in front of the door. The door looks very familiar to the ones that you've seen before.
Yeah,
What would you like to
Avok's
do?
just, find that green button.
We're all safely across.
You're still outside the building right now, so dropping it thus far probably would be the greatest idea. Avok goes, pushes the button. The door is much slower than it normally is, but it takes a full minute for it to actually sink into the ground. And you notice the inside, while very, very cold, doesn't seem to be wet as of right now.
Keep this bubble around the door before we close it.
Okay.
So-
Everyone, hurry inside.
Yep, hang in there.
So everyone goes in.
Try closing the door.
Again, very, very slowly. It takes another 2 minutes for it to actually close. You can see beads of sweat are starting to form on Kata's brow, despite how cold it is, and they're starting to freeze there. She starts to weaken a little bit, and as the door closes itself, you can see that she is almost to the point where she's spent on this spell.
Can I let go now?
Let go, it's closed.
As you do that, you guys hear this very large booming sound from outside the door, as you assume all the water that she was holding back just slammed into the door.
Oh, good news. It's holding.
Okay, let's go.
I'll slow clap for her as we walk.
As you guys look around, you notice that the chandeliers that normally turn on aren't. The room itself is completely dark.
I can't see shit.
I'll take out my dagger and inflame it.
Is it still a dagger, or is it turned into something slightly different now?
I didn't specify earlier, so I assume you wouldn't let me do it.
Well, it takes an hour for you to do it, so you've had enough time.
Okay. Sure. I'll take out a flaming whip.
What?
So you guys watch as Elaine takes out this very peculiar looking thing. At the tip of it is what looks like a sharpened dagger point, and then you can see chain links going about 10 to 15 feet long, and you see the end of the this chain-linked weapon start glowing, and Elaine just very casually kind of spinning it around. So as the light kind of illuminates, the room looks very similar.
Masters could do that.
Okay.
I totally just lost everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we seem to be fine. It was you that was
Yeah,
sick.
no, I'm back now.
Okay.
Okay.
So, yeah, I don't know what you guys heard, the last thing you heard.
Flying whip.
Yeah, essentially.
Okay, so he's twirling it around. It's light. Again, the room itself looks very, very similar to the other one, but you do notice that the generator at the bottom looks different somehow. From the aerial view that you're at, you can't really tell what's different, especially with the very low light in here, but something is different about this one.
It's probably alive. So I'll cast light on something.
Okay. What do you want to cast
Just
light on?
Hey, Avok, can I see your axe? I touch his axe, give him some light to see with.
Your axe
Then
is
I would-
glowing.
I would like to cure wounds myself because, ow,
Okay.
and then other stuff. Anyone else have something they want to do right away or no?
Couldn't these guys just do
No.
this if we're off? Mysterious Jesus. I mean, whatever's the equivalent of Jesus in this world.
Dark lady.
Good grief.
So
Okay,
you guys
I gotta
watch
go
as
try-
Faye
I gotta
touches
go try
himself
grab
and
this.
starts feeling real good.
Wow.
Oh yeah, that's the good stuff.
You guys are still at the top of the landing. While you're there, roll me perception checks, everybody.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
First up, she
And then.
Hey, Buck, what you got?
19.
All right, Katza?
19.
Man.
Nine light, it's 20.
17.
Okay, and Fade?
22.
So you guys all, as you're down here, you start hearing bizarre sounds outside. The walls themselves, you can hear this kind of groaning sound, like old metal gates and things like that kind of rubbing against each other. You guys feel kind of a slight tremor in the ground below you as you guys are standing there, and then silence.
You think that beastie got in?
Hello? Anyone there?
No answer.
Oh god, this is not going to end well. Let's turn this damn thing on quickly so we can get out of here. I don't want to die a watery death.
Dude, let's do it. I look at Avok. Let's make it happen. I get ready to sprint down the stairs with him.
Okay. The rest of you following suit?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. So as you guys go, you hear that kind of strange noise a couple more times. This kind of groaning sound and then a slight tremor in the floor. You see, by the time you hit to the ground, hit the actual ground level, you see a couple times the walls actually just shake very slightly. But you're now at the bottom, roughly about 50 feet away from the generator itself. Still really hard to see because, again, your light only goes out about 60 feet.
We're going, so let's. I'll just look around as we approach the weird generator.
So as you guys get to the generator itself, you've seen 3 other versions of this. They've all been very, very similar with a few minor modifications. But the main thing is it's normally like a big block with dwarven writing on it, and then 2 like metal tubes that come out of it, form right angles, and then go into the ground. This one has 1 tube that goes off in a right angle, and then 1 tube that looks broken.
Oh, shit.
I look for pieces of it nearby.
There are some like kind of shattered metal shards. You can see on the inside, and this is the first time you've seen on the inside of one of these things, is these kind of crystal channels intermixed with just kind of open space. And you can see a few on the left side. The one that's broken is on the left side. You can see the crystals on the inside have broken, have fallen out of place and things like that. There are a few of them on the ground. They do not look good. There's cracks in them, and nothing is glowing right now.
How big is the cable break?
The whole cable itself is probably about 2 feet in diameter. Like, they're really, really big. And the one that's broken, probably about 3 feet of it are broken in different areas. As you guys are looking at this, you all kind of look at each other as you hear another, this time significantly louder than before, that grinding, groaning sound, and then a tremor, and then you hear an explosion from behind you, and you see water start shooting into the room.
Oh, god damn it.
That's just broken. You guys can see the room itself is starting to feel with this water. The temperature itself, the room is already very cold. The temperature is dropping dangerously fast.
Oh god.
I am going to do something you're not going to like.
You already did something we're not liking.
Right.
You guys now have
Oh, you're putting a timer
5
on this.
minutes. Starting right now, before the room is completely enveloped in this water. What would you all like to do? It is now 4 minutes 45 seconds.
Approach the generator box.
Okay. The generator itself looks like it's intact. It looks like just the leftmost piston itself is tube is broken, and it looks like that's the only problem it has.
Hold it
4
up.
minutes,
People,
26 seconds.
we need a replacement part. Look around, quick.
Looking for something to plug that up with.
Dark in here, I'll try.
Anyone that wants to look, investigation checks for me. 4
Okay.
minutes, 15 seconds. The water is starting to pool around your feet.
Oh,
Your feet
okay, that's
are
actually
starting
pretty
to go
good.
numb. Avok.
19.
All right, good. Elaine.
17.
Fade.
What am I don't even know what I'm doing.
Oh, you're not doing anything. Kata.
17.
All right. So the three of you guys find different gems and things like that in different pieces of the casing and bring them all to Fade. Fade, you can see a grand total of 6 shattered gems amongst them and 3 pieces of broken plating. 3 minutes and 39 seconds remaining.
Damn it.
All right, I'm gonna take a tacky gem, put it all together, and hold it in the right spot. Kata, come here. Let's try to mend it.
Okay.
Both of you guys roll spell attack rolls for me.
Okay.
Can I use my last roll? I got a 13.
24.
All right. So as you guys sit there, Fade, as you put the tacky gem in there, again you get that strange feeling, but this time it's not painful.
Okay.
And you see the gem kind of change before your eyes and form a complete path. You can see that there are, of the 5 pathways that are supposed to be there, there were 3 that were damaged. There are now 2 that are damaged.
Okay.
2 minutes, 50 seconds remaining.
Okay. Next one.
I'll just pull out 2 more and throw them in.
Okay.
In the right spots, yeah.
2 minutes,
Okay.
37 seconds.
Another roll.
Yep.
Yeah.
Spell
14.
attack roll.
16.
All right, so you guys sit there, and another one is mended. You can start seeing a few of the pathways are starting to blink a little bit, but they're not fully finished. 2 minutes and 19 seconds remaining.
Third time. Roll.
All right.
17.
2 17s.
All right.
Or 17 19.
So you guys get the last one. You can see they start glowing, but you can see, due to the fact that the metal is not kind of containing it, a lot of the energy is kind of spilling out. I'd like everyone to go ahead and make wisdom saving throws for me.
Oh god.
1 minute, 50 seconds remaining.
13.
Oh no.
All right.
right.
Lane.
7.
Fade.
Net 20.
Kata.
27.
10.
Anyone below 10, you take...
I don't think any of us are below 10.
I'm below 10.
You take 6 psychic damage as the energy just flows out of this. 1 minute, 28 seconds.
All right, I will throw up the prepared control water that I have to seal off the room.
Okay, you can't seal off the entire room, but you can kind of make a bubble around yourself. That has added another minute to your countdown.
Okay, guys, we need to seal this up. Figure it out. I'm holding the shit back.
Oh god.
You're now 2 minutes and 10 seconds.
You guys have been fixing it. I mean, what we gotta do? Just hold this thing to the thing and you guys just do your magic fix up.
You have 3 pieces of metal that look like they fit there, but they are...
Everybody hold it together. Everybody hold this together for us.
Yeah, we're all holding
Okay.
the thing together in place to make
Anyone
sure.
holding it together, make athletics checks for me.
Okay.
1 minute,
we're good.
46 seconds remaining.
Oh, okay.
22.
All right. Anyone else? Elaine?
11.
11? Kata?
I need to make it.
Okay.
Oh, god.
Fast, please.
1 minute, 30 seconds remaining.
Alright, athletics. Oh god, 6.
Okay, between the 3 of you guys have kind of held it in place. The energy is no longer pouring out, but you guys can see the water level has risen to the point where it's about head level, were it not for the fact that you guys have this bubble of air around you.
All right.
1 minute, 5 seconds remaining.
What about the cable?
You have 3
Alright.
pieces of metal that are kind of there, but there's nothing holding them there.
Keep trying to mend them.
Okay.
Okay, I'll try to
Spell attack
Menders
rolls
mend.
for anyone doing mending.
okay.
24.
11.
All right, and you guys, as you do that, you feel the pieces start mending together, and you feel kind of a rumbling sensation beneath your feet. You see the water starts to lessen and lessen and lessen, and with 28 seconds remaining,
Alright. Another,
the water level isn't going down, but it's not rising anymore, and you guys can feel the temperature slowly starting to rise in the room.
The water isn't rising. It's not going away, but it's not rising.
Yeah.
Does the wall that broke look any different?
There's no more water coming through it.
Is that because of my bubble, or is there something else happening?
Your bubble is not big enough to be able to stop the water that far away. If you look out there, you can see air on the other side.
Okay.
So the shield went up. Okay, I'll drop my spell. Oh,
As that happens, ice cold water comes in and smashes you guys.
Damn it!
Not
Jennifer.
doing any damage, but not comfortable in the least. You do notice it's not nearly as cold as the water was, especially you, Fate. You know exactly how cold the other water was. This is warmer than that, but still not all that great. You guys are uncomfortable, but alive.
Is this thing you turned on? I mean, I don't know.
Okay, so, should we, dive down to, fix the, cable? Or, is it permanently,
The cable itself, because of the mending and everything like that, looks like it's fixed. The generator doesn't seem to be on right now.
let's look at.
We can
what's
all
left.
breathe in water, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, there's not enough
Almost died.
water that you guys would need that. Like, it's about waist level right now.
Okay. Okay. So let's turn this damn thing on. Oh God.
You see a control panel very similar to the first one, with the gems in a set of 4x4.
Okay.
Okay, Fade, you figured that out. Watch.
Having dealt with that once before, you don't feel any reason that you can't do it again. And you hear the very familiar sound of the generator slowly coming to life. The water itself is still cold, but kind of just like a cold pool type temperature now. It is warmed significantly from what it was before. There's no longer icicles forming everywhere.
Well, that's a plus. Okay, so this is on. I say we tried it. Well, we're gonna have to open that door and probably die. Oh no, the hole. There's a hole in the wall. Can we see out the wall?
Yeah.
It looks like the street around the building.
Well, it looks like the sky. You know, it's
Okay.
in the top, so you're kind of looking up. So
Then we should hightail it to the temple.
Yeah, is it big enough that I could fly out if I wanted?
not that large.
Darn it.
Just go open up the door up the stairs.
Okay. The door moves slightly faster than before, opens up, and you can see the streets in front of you are covered in water, almost like a very heavy rain just happened.
Hey Kata, is there anything in that room before we leave? You want to look around real quick?
Sure, I guess.
Roll me a
Right.
perception check.
Okay. Alright, perception. Natural 20!
Wow. The room itself is bare. Other than the, probably about 2.5 feet of water in there. There's nothing really there.
Okay. Nothing there. We can leave.
Let's double time it to the big door.
Let's go.
You want to explore a newly unwatered area?
You're not wrong. I mean, I made the decision to go this way, so you guys, I'm following your lead. If you want.
I guess now that nothing's really maybe now that we're not in danger, we could try to explore.
Okay, let's explore.
As soon as everybody gets out, roll me perception checks.
Okay. 23.
Damn.
14.
Cool.
Freezing my ass off.
17.
Elaine seems less than thrilled.
I rolled a 7.
Aw.
So Elaine is still like damp, and he's kind of shaking the water off of his golden armor. Fade, again, you notice that, the ground is covered in water a little bit. It's still kind of cold. You can still see your breath just a little bit. Kata, on the other hand, as you kind of look around, you see basically through the shield on the other side of the city, you see a dark shape moving,
Uh,
getting
We
larger.
we have company.
So we either need to get to the temple and free whoever's left, if there is anyone, or get to the control room and guess how we can defend the city.
We should probably get out of here before we're in any more danger.
I say temple, because we need help. We don't know how to do anything here.
Yeah, good idea.
Alright, let's go to the temple.
All right. So the temple is in the northern part of the city, so it only takes you about 20-30 minutes to get there. You can see all 4 gems are lit now. The doors themselves are still closed, but the gems are lit.
Shit, there was a power station in the control room. Let's investigate this door, see if maybe we touch the gems, or I'll present my holy symbol. And
As
say a
you
quick
step
little
close
prayer.
to the door, you guys feel the ground start to shake and rumble. You guys are actually having a bit of a hard time standing upright, and you watch this giant seam appear in the middle of the door, and it goes all the way to the ground. You watch the doors themselves start to swing open. Fade, you actually have to step back a little bit to avoid being crushed by the doors as they open. And you can see on the inside, at first, complete and utter darkness. And then you see one light spring to life, and then another one, and another one, and another one, and another one, going all the way down. And you can see on the inside of this building are very large columns. And you can see these giant statues of dwarven figures with their hands kind of cupped like this, and inside each the cupped hands is an actual flame, an arcane flame, and that's what's lighting this. And as you guys look further and further in, you can see about 100 feet into this building is a massive statue, about 40 or 50 feet high, even dwarving Kata's shield guardian.
do they look like deities or dwarves?
The ones on the outside look like dwarves.
I'm
Very,
going
very
right
large
in.
dwarves. The giant statue at kind of the end of this hallway doesn't look like anything you've ever seen before. It's
I
humanoid.
investigate
It's got,
that.
2 legs, 2 arms, and a head. All right. So as you come in, are the rest of you joining him?
I guess so.
Yeah, sure.
All right. So you guys all kind of wander in even further. As you guys get to this very, very large statue, you feel a rumbling, and you look behind you, and the doors behind you have just
Oh,
closed.
come on, my God.
You look at this incredibly tall, very intricately carved statue. You can see dwarven runes all over this very large statue. And you can see it's sitting on kind of like a throne type thing. And beneath the throne, you can see a set of double doors that are significantly smaller than the ones that you just went through. Kind of in between its legs.
Check for traps.
Checking for
Investigation
traps.
check.
Doodling.
That's a 9.
No.
Because I'm good at that.
You detect no traps.
There's no traps here, guys. It's fine. Let's just go.
Go open the door. Try to open the door.
I'm gonna go
As you
open
step
this.
forward, Fade, roll me a dexterity saving throw.
Yep. That's a thing that I do a lot.
You're always the one
18.
going first. So as you're going forward, you feel kind of air currents change, and you feel like a rush of wind. And you look up, you see this giant stone structure coming directly down from you, and you leap back out of the way. The rest of you guys notice that one of the legs of this giant statue moved and tried to step on Fade.
Oh, God.
Fade, as you kind of recover, you see this giant stone creature lean forward. Its eyes start to glow. You can see it start to stand up, and it gets 30, 40, 50, 60 feet tall.
Oh, God damn
It
it.
looks down on you. And I've got to actually look at this. Hold, please.
Oh, no, I knew I should have brought the Shield Guardian in here with us. I was just afraid the entrance was too small.
Oh, the entrance was massive.
Ah, God damn it!
Hold, please. I've got to figure out what this is. Yeah. So you see this giant creature with these giant stone fists sit there, smack their fists together, and bring them down into a fighting stance. And that is where we're going to end it for tonight.
Oh, I am so sorry, guys. We could have had such an advantage, and I not thought ahead.
So, yes, thank you for those of you that showed up and watched. Thanks for showing up. If you enjoyed the episode, you missed any of it, I do upload all these to my YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/TranderJody. You can catch up on all the fun, wonderful adventures of this pretty awesome team. I do run Dungeons & Dragons games just about every week here, so if you follow me here on Twitch, you can watch me run this campaign, and the weeks I'm not running this one, I'm running the Tyranny of Dragons campaign. And as always, you can find me on Twitter. I'm at TranderJody. I always tweet before we start going live. So other than that, that's all for me today, and I will see you guys next time. All right? Bye-bye!